Alright guys, I just want to note something before the video starts. So I've been posting daily usually because for I think May, like late May, June and July. Well, that was my summer break, and when I upload this video, this is going to be my last day of my summer break. So I won't be daily uploading as I would be like doing all the time, but I do have some updates about Spy Academy Season 3, and this is my last and final teaser I'm probably going to do for now. And I'm just going to say Spy Academy Season 3 episodes are going to come out weekly. That's all I'm going to say. And that I won't be posting as much videos. So due to my summer break ending. So yeah, this is kind of my last video of summer break. So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know if if I don't post that much. Yo, hello Cyclone members, it is me, Raven here, back again with another video. In today's video, I'll be explaining the entire story of Deimos the Bounty Hunter, Season 1 to Season 2 so far. In the beginning of Season 1 of Deimos the Bounty Hunter, Deimos is getting sent to the Poison Death Planet, and then he meets up with Condor. Then Deimos asked if Condor can bring him back alive again because he didn't really get to kill the Fire King. And then really Condor say, yes you can, but you have to pass the trials of the dead. Deimos has passed the test of the trials of the dead and as immediately is brought back to life for the last time. And Condor warned him that he can only be revived once and that he needs to live his life to the fullest. After Deimos was brought back to life, he asked a guy in the ice cream shop that has the fire war begun or ended. The bystanders said that the fire war has already ended and how our hero Ravenclaw has to sacrifice his life in order to kill the Fire King. With Deimos depressed, he is kind of depressed that he didn't even get to kill the Fire King or fight near by the Ghost of Shadows until one day he finds a paper randomly on the ground and calls the number. Deimos called the number and the caller accepted the call, saying that if you want to be a bounty hunter, you have to go ahead and stop a bunch of toys from a warehouse that's not far away from the neighborhood. Deimos found his bounty and killed his bounty, but it turned out to be a toy soldier, and he asked, why are toy soldiers here robbing parts from a warehouse? Later, Deimos finds a box of weapons, seeing that the toy soldier was dealing out weapons to somebody, but he doesn't know who. Later on, we are introduced to our main villain called Snap of Season 1, and a toy soldier told Snap that the weapons that was at the warehouse was destroyed and how basically Deimos has robbed them of the weapons, and Snap was furious, saying that they will find this bounty hunter and kill him. Later on, Snap gathered his army to attack Tilted Towers and destroy everything about Tilted Towers. Later on, Deimos gets a call from the unknown caller, and the unknown caller tells Deimos that he needs to go to Tilted Towers in order to stop the toys from destroying it and follow them to their base, which is the leader. It turns out to be Snap. So Deimos finds out there was toys at Tilted Towers and basically killed the toy soldiers. Snap is walking around his base until he is followed by Deimos, which successfully, I don't know how, but Deimos found out that Snap was at his base and basically just followed him. Deimos and Snap fight on top of the building, and then later on, Snap is defeated by really just hitting a glass wall and he dies. After the battle of the toys, Deimos gets a door knock from his door, and he wonders who is out there waiting for him. Who is it? Is it the unknown caller or somebody else? And it turns out to be one of a former member of the Peace Syndicate asking him if he can join the Peace Syndicate, and Deimos refuses no, saying that he wants to live his life to the fullest and how he wants to be alone, and the agent understood. Which ends Deimos the Bounty Hunter Season 1. Later on in the year 2026, a lot of bad stuff happened. All criminals that came out of Gary Falls City were out in the wild in the country of Gary Falls due to Reality Vine blowing up the jail. And Renzo was walking up to a bank and basically killed 2 guards with his fire powers, which were very sad, and those 2 guards were dead. Fun fact, Renzo was supposed to be the main villain of Deimos the Bounty Hunter Season 2. Then later on, we see Thunder and Evie chilling, and then Twin came into the room informing Thunder that Renzo has snuck another bank, and how basically the Peace Syndicate right now is kind of weak and they cannot stop Renzo, so they're gonna have to go to an option. And then Evie, or Thunder, I think, I don't know, I can't really remember this point, but one of them thought about bringing Deimos to the team, and how, Thunder told about, the information when Deimos was going to be at to the bar and the Butter Barn nearby Gary Falls West, and Evie's going to meet Deimos there and get him to join the team. We'll cut to the next day as we're seeing Deimos and Mancake just talking, and Mancake serving up some pancakes, some drinks for Deimos, and then all of a sudden, Evie came into the room asking Deimos to be a part of the Peace Syndicate, which Deimos denies, and then secretly, Evie drugged the drink that Deimos was going to drink, and he was basically drugged and was basically knocked out. Later on, Deimos wakes up from a bed which he's in an apartment of, and he doesn't know which apartment he's into, but it's later on that he was in the Peace Syndicate's headquarters, and that Thunder met Deimos, and Thunder gave him the assignment that Deimos is going to have to team up with Evie to stop Wrecker, who escaped from prison due to Reality Vine, blowing up the loop and stuff, and how some of the dangerous criminals of Gary Falls escaped, and how they're out in the wild now and basically destroying everything across the country. So Deimos agreed with Thunder, saying that, he wants to, protect the city and stuff like that. And then later on, Deimos gets a bit cocky, saying that when Thunder was talking about how Renzo, the Destroyer, how powerful he is, Deimos thinks he can take him out, but Thunder tells him you can't, because really, Renzo is just way better than Deimos, and every other way as possible. So Deimos agrees with Thunder and works with Evie. Later on at a construction site, Deimos is met up with Evie once more again. Both of them was caught arguing, and then both of them made it up, and they just decided to team up and decided to stop Wrecker. And then we were at the famous point when Deimos and Evie were basically killing all Wrecker's men, and then when Wrecker knocked out basically Deimos and Evie, I mean, really, this is what Deimos was really saying for his famous line.
You're finished.
You know what, Evie? I hate saying this is going to sound cringe, but we must use the power of friendship.
But what? It's your power. It's over 9,000.
Now die.
So after that event, Evie and Deimos arrest Wrecker and put him to jail, but they didn't know they were secretly being watched by Highwire, who later on informs her boss, Triac Knox, about Deimos' existence and how he's basically cleaning up the streets with the Peace Syndicate. Later on, it's episode 2 of Deimos the Bounty Hunter, we learned about Mizuki and Stray's history and how, they basically broke up, basically when Stray left the River Guard, which really made Mizuki very mad and started wars with the Fox Clan, and how basically Thunder and Deimos are tasked to stop them for fighting each other. So basically, Deimos invites the Fox Clan, and Deimos invites the River Guard to the dinner at Thunder's place, and they both made up. At the end of the episode, Triac Knox teams up with the Dark Side. In episode 3, Triac Knox faces a bounty on Deimos by asking Darth Maul to go ahead, find where Deimos is at, and basically just really kill him. So Deimos goes ahead and visits the Butter Barn, which he meets Mancake, and they basically have a little chit chat, and then Mancake told about Deimos about Darth Maul, or basically what he's basically called a redskin monkey, and how dangerous Darth Maul can be. But Deimos didn't think it was real until Darth Maul entered into the bar, and really Darth Maul beat the living crap out of Deimos. But then, randomly out of the blue, Obi-Wan Kenobi saves Deimos. Then Deimos wakes up in the hospital, and Obi-Wan is seen by him, and Obi-Wan tells him about the reason why Darth Maul is after him, and how basically somebody placed a bounty on his head, and that Deimos can't really beat Darth Maul without the Force. So basically, Obi-Wan healed up Deimos and really just trained him about the Force, gave him a lightsaber, and taught him, how to use the Force and stuff to, fight Darth Maul again. Then when Deimos gets done with training, he is met with Darth Maul again, but this time Darth Maul basically jump scares Deimos while basically being his host, and then Deimos and Darth Maul fought, and to one point, Deimos pushed off Darth Maul with the Force off a cliff, and then Darth Maul died. Then after the fight, Triarch Nox and Emperor Palpatine was talking about Order 66 and how Triarch Nox would basically need Palpatine's clone troopers in order to complete his Order 66, which basically his Order 66 really basically kind of like meant to like really to destroy the entire island, and how Triarch Nox really wants the entire island destroyed. Then Triarch Nox sells off that he got somebody from a different dimension, which turns out to be 2099. Then, one day before that 2099 was corrected, Miles Morales and 2099 were basically fighting and all that stuff until one of them, or basically both of them, got sucked into a portal. Then 2099 wakes up at a mothership, and when Renzo and his gang was basically talking, and then they found out 2099, and then Renzo corrupted 2099 and sent him to the boss. Then Miles got teleported to the Fortnite island, and then he met up with Deimos, and then him and Deimos chatted about, stuff like that, and how Miles explained how he's not from this dimension or anything like that. So Deimos and Miles walk away until they're attacked by 2099. Not really attacked, but really 2099 was harming a chicken. After our hero stopped the corrupted 2099 from harming the chicken, Deimos says that he's corrupted and that he would take him to the lab and see what they can do to him. After Deimos and Miles takes 2099 to the basement, Highwire breaks into Deimos' house, frees 2099, and brings 2099 back to Renzo. The next day later, Deimos wakes up from his bed and checks on Miles, and they both go down to the basement to see if 2099 is still at his cell, but later to their surprise, he's not, and then Deimos and Miles check on the security cameras. Not really the security cameras, but really as Bush Ranger, who was in the closet the entire time about what happened to 2099, and then Bush Ranger told Deimos and Miles that there was a woman in a bunny suit, which Deimos recognized was Highwire, since he knows Highwire, and she's like one of the most famous thief ever. But then later on, Bush Ranger and then Deimos were on the computer, and they find out what Highwire basically kind of looks like to have her gumshoes, so it's, they can both be related since they have the same lips, the same hair, and the same eyes. So Deimos goes ahead in Gary Falls City to look out for her to make sure that she isn't around by 2099 or anything like that. Later on in the mothership, Highwire meets up with Renzo, and then Renzo tells her and 2099 to go to Gary Falls City and plant some bombs down there for corruption in order to corrupt the neighborhood and make sure that every neighbor is basically corrupted. Later on, as Deimos is driving through Gary Falls City, he meets up with Miles, and there are a bunch of neighbors just running away and just really screaming about there's a bomb in the city and all that stuff, and the entire citizens are all scared and really they don't know what to do and all that. And then Deimos and Miles gets out of the Deimos's truck and stuff like that, and then they meet up with Highwire and then 2099, and then Miles fights 2099, Deimos fights Highwire, then Deimos grabs the bomb from Highwire, and then Highwire basically just runs away because he has no chance against basically Deimos. Later on, 2099 and Miles are still fighting, and then Deimos helps out and basically ejects the cure that Deimos was working on with his computer from the entire night, but the computer was autopilot to make the cure, and basically Deimos ejects 2099 with the cure to get rid of his corruption, and then they were all back to normal. Not all back to normal, but really 2099 was back to normal, and then the free trio really just celebrated and go to the taco shop and just ate tacos. But before all that can happen, Deimos disarms the bomb before they went to the taco shop. Meanwhile, Highwire is at the mothership to face her death, and then Renzo is very furious that he lost the bomb, and how Renzo is basically going to kill Highwire since Triarch Nox gave Renzo full permission to kill Highwire. So basically Renzo just saw Highwire and she was dead, and then Later on at the city, we get a little announcement from somebody.
Execute Order 66.
Later on, Thunder is at the city chasing down a thief who basically stole some money from a store. And then later on, the thief killed himself by a gas station, and the gas station exploded, and there was nothing left of the gas station. And then Thunder got off his bike and said that he really just died in a pathetic way. And then Thunder was going to go ahead to his bike until some clone troopers came ahead and tried to basically arrest him, or either really killed him and all that stuff. And then Thunder escapes the clone troopers, and then Thunder has an idea that he needs to go to Deimos' place to hide. Later on, Deimos is just watching some good old Raven Saddle videos, which you should really, before we continue on the story, you guys should really like and subscribe if you're really liking the content so far. But back to the story. Thunder basically knocks on Deimos' door. Deimos opens the door, and Thunder tells him that clone troopers are attacking the island, and how these guys in white armor are basically trying to arrest everybody, or just really trying to kill them, and that Thunder cannot be at his base right now because there's a bunch of clone troopers at Mega City and probably across the entire island, and that really Deimos and Thunder are going to have to work together in order to get rid of this stuff. So basically Thunder goes ahead, and Deimos has an idea to get everybody that they know and help them in this fight against Order 66, or basically the clone troopers and stuff, and see who's the leader behind this. Deimos and Thunder go ahead and hire as many people as they can to get to Deimos' basement. Deimos hired Obi-Wan, 2099, and Miles Morales. Also, Thunder hired free people as well. Stray, Mizuki, and also a person that we have never seen in the show or series, Eren Yeager. Thunder made a war plan with the rest of the gang. Thunder said that 2099, Miles, and Eren Yeager will be the guys to defend Gary Falls City. Then, Obi-Wan suggested that he would go ahead and look for Anakin, because Anakin was missing lately, and he doesn't know when Anakin's at. He wanted to make sure he's okay. Then, Thunder ordered Deimos to be a prisoner for the clone troopers so they can know any info about their boss, and that Deimos can go ahead and go into their ship and probably blow it up. At Gary Falls City, 2099 and his squad with Miles and Eren Yeager goes ahead, finds some clone troopers, beat them up, and then later on there was a guy walking after the battle was done, and how 2099 basically has to go somewhere to make sure that there isn't any other clone troopers around, and then really the guy the citizen meet up with Venom, and Venom basically just ate the guy whole, and then Miles and Eren Yeager heard the guy yelling, and basically they saw Venom, and Miles basically hit him with a Venom punch, but it didn't do anything, but it made him transform into his monstrous form. And then really Venom and Eren Yeager were basically hopeless, and basically Venom defeats them, and as he's about to kill them, a civilian basically runs into Venom to a pile of cards, and then boom, he literally, not really, but the cards basically just explode themselves, killing Venom in the process. Then later on in Gary Falls City, Mizuki and Stray and Thunder are basically saving survivors, and Thunder with his katana, and Mizuki with her katana, and Stray with his katana, they were basically annihilating all the clone troopers, basically killing them and saving survivors in the way. Then Renzo finds out that all survivors are alive, and basically Renzo kills both of the survivors and also kills Stray's sister Mizuki, which angers Stray into becoming his ice version, or really just his frozen version of himself, really just a transformation to the frozen form. But it is kind of a debate if it's going to be called Frozen Stray or Ice Stray, but I think Frozen Stray will fit the transformation way better. Then Renzo and Stray fought until Stray basically stuns Renzo and basically throws his feet towards the school locker, and then Stray unlocks the ice pillar, and it basically just crushes Renzo, which kills him. Later on a clone trooper outpost, Obi-Wan sneaks in and basically hypnotizes a clone trooper into saying when Anakin's at, and basically the clone trooper told when Anakin was at a volcano island with Padme, so Obi-Wan went there to the island as fast as he can. Padme meets with Anakin, and then they, little have a, the little love moment, and then, until Anakin sees Obi-Wan, and then really Anakin chokes his wife out, and then Obi-Wan tells Anakin to stop, and you basically know how this goes, because we literally just recreated this entire scene, but it wasn't on the planet Mustafar, it was really on, like, a volcano, really, like, on an island on a volcano, so, like, it really didn't really matter that much, but yeah. Later on, Deimos is arrested by a bunch of clone troopers, and the clone troopers basically take Deimos to their boss called Triarch Nox, and then Deimos and Triarch Nox talk for a little bit, and then basically Deimos and Triarch Nox fought, and then Triarch Nox basically kind of like stabbed Deimos and gave his villain speech to Deimos, and then Deimos got so mad that he transformed into his Soul Taker form, and basically really just in general really just basically just sucked his life force out. No homo, by the way, but yeah, basically Deimos is, sucked his soul out, no homo again, and then, the ship was about to explode since, Triarch Nox kind of hit something in the ship, kind of hit the generator, and it basically makes the entire ship basically legit fall. Then Deimos wakes up and then realizes what really happened and how he basically killed Triarch Nox and how the ship is about to explode any moment by now. And then Deimos talks to himself about how he didn't really get the Soul Taker form because that form basically really gave him one power of so many souls, and basically how he has to take away so many people's souls in order to get powerful. And then in that form he was going to go ahead and kill the Fire King, who basically really just betrayed him and really treated him like garbage, and basically was going to kill him for that. So yeah, basically Deimos escapes and he has to fight a bunch of stormtroopers in the way, to get out of there and all that stuff. And then Deimos finds a plane, and basically he, rides in the plane, and then the ship kind of explodes with the plane, and then really Deimos kind of like crash landed. Then Deimos meets up with Thunder, and they're both happy to see each other, and they both say that, this war has ended, and how the Empire basically lost this war, and how Order 66 basically didn't happen in their universe, and not really did it happen, but they stopped Order 66 from happening. Later on, a few clone troopers found Anakin Skywalker's body being severed and being burnt, and the clone troopers bring Anakin Skywalker to the ship, and basically, really, the clone troopers basically brought him to Emperor Palpatine, and Emperor Palpatine and his clone troopers basically began to make him cybernetics for his body in order for him to live, and he was now known as Darth Vader. After the war, Stray visits his sister's grave, Mizuki, and later on became the leader of the River Guard by abandoning the Vox clan. Meanwhile, Deimos left the Peace Syndicate so he can work by himself, and the Peace Syndicate still defend Mega City to this day. A few days after the war, Deimos gets a knock from his door, and 2099 and Miles are there to say goodbye to him and how they're going to be leaving, and basically just telling them, not really telling them, but basically both of the Spider-Men tell them how, grateful they were to be a friend of Deimos and stuff, and then Deimos say goodbye to them. Later on, 2099 teleports Miles to the Spider Society, and then he meets up with Gwen again, and they hugged. Then, when Deimos closes the door, he meets Condor, and Condor says this to him.
I have come.
And that is when Deimos the Bounty Hunter really ends. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me explaining the entire story about Deimos the Bounty Hunter. And I'm very excited to work on Season 3 next year, and I cannot wait for this to happen. But yeah guys, I'm going to end the video here. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe with post notifications to stay updated for amazing videos just like this. But like I said, peace, bye.
Hello, Malcolm. Oh, Professor Wilde, thank God. I've been trying to reach you.
I'm sorry, Malcolm. I've been a bit tied up.
I haven't been able to find any more on our ghoul, though my resources are a bit limited.
Professor? Where
We're doing a stretch of 5 to 10. Apparently the authorities frown on selling meth to college students.
Yeah, apparently.
You need to hang up that computer call. Come over here and kiss me on my hot mouth. I'm feeling romantical.
Well, Malcolm, I suppose I should get going, but I will be emailing you the contacts of associates who'll be able to help.
Y'all hear that thunder and lightning? Cause I hear it. A whole bunch of turbulence. A whole bunch of turbulence. Everybody strap your...
Alright, Jose, you can come up from the door right now.
Oh, wait.
Alright, you're good, Chief. Alright, we're good. You're good, bro. You're done, bro. What the heck? Bro, what is going? Alright, you redskin monkey, you know you are. Oh, he's gone. Clearing. No.
That sounds good comeback.
Cause I got better. Cause I. Whoa! What? No! Oh! Come here, Miles! Come here! Take this!
No.
No!
Why does everyone keep telling me what to do? No.
Hey, Miles, looks like Peter stole your girlfriend. Must be from a 2, 1, go. Renzo, the creator. Hey, yo, who just purred?
Me, I did.
Oh, you're like,
Could
exactly.
you get me the plane skin? What is Bro doing with his sister? Oh no! What is Bro doing with his sister?
Good thing Raven's not looking up at the taco shop.
Yeah, good thing.
Yep,
What is Bro doing with his sister?
Yep, I'm not watching. Yeah, I'm not.
No!
Whoa! No! No! What? Dick! What? No! No! Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Impossible! I'm a destroyer! There's no way! Ooh gaga.
Goo gaga daddy mom.
Hey yo!
This thing is overpowered.
And stuff, right? Yeah, bro, stop kissing me, bro. You're weird, bro. You're making me. Hey, yo, you guys looking handsome, bro. Dang, y'all looking handsome.
I just came back from the doctors and I have stage 7 ball sack cancer.
Exactly, bro. You have a problem with that?
I'm Jay from Spy Academy. Remember,
You don't kill
Ravenclaw could
someone.
sing ballin'.
Wait, Ravenclaw needs to sing ballin'? You mean ballin'? It's not ballin', it's ballin', idiot. Ballin'.
I'm sorry, I have a British accent.
Hello, Cyclone members. It is me, Riven here, back again with another video. In today's video, I will be ranking all the Deimos the Bounty Hunter characters from Season 1 and all the way to Season 2. But let's get into the rankings, shall we? So our number 1 character is Condor. Now I'm not gonna lie, Condor didn't have a lot of screen time until he basically kind of showed up at the end of Deimos the Bounty Hunter Season 2. But I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of Ravenclaw's brother, and I kind of like how I did with his character and how he appeared in Spy Academy. So I guess he would be kind of a mid character, so I'd probably rank him about 5 out of 10.
Number 2, we have the collar from season 1. If you guys don't know what season 1 is, it was this collar here that gives bounties to Deimos, and it's not man cake. It's basically kind of unknown who gave him the bounties, and I'm not gonna lie, I like the mysterious of this character, like how mysterious it is, and a lot of people will probably be guessing in the comments if it's Strider, Thunder, or someone like that. But yeah, me personally, in my opinion, this was a good character, so a 10 out of 10. Okay, so the last character about this season 1 of Deimos was basically Snap. Now, I'm not gonna lie, he was kind of not the good villain in here. I mean, I didn't really give him like a proper backstory. All he was like a guy who wanted revenge on people who, you know, mistreated his toys and all that stuff like that. I mean, it wasn't really a big part of the story in my opinion, so like, I didn't really have anything else to really say about it. I mean, not gonna lie, he was kind of a bad villain, so I guess I rank him out of a 0 out of 10. Coming in number 4, we have Renzo. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this guy was a 10 out of 10 villain. I really like his design and the voice I gave him and the personality as a guy who's like in second command of the last reality, and that the fact he's like a robot and he has fire powers. It's just really, he's a good villain, and I think he should have been made villain in my opinion. Okay, so number 5, Thunder. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Thunder's kind of a 8 out of 10, and he doesn't really appear in, like, you know, a lot of Deimos episodes, and he's kind of not, like, the best character, I would say. Like, his design, in my opinion, like, it's kind of bland, nothing really going on, and I didn't really feel like giving his origin story, because, like, all he is just a black lizard, and, like, red with a red coat and stuff. I don't really have a possible origin story, so yeah, I don't think I really need to give anything, but he was kind of a good character and a good leader, so 8 out of 10. Okay, so for number 6, we have Mancake. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this guy was a pretty funny character, and he was supposed to be comic relief, and he says a bunch of funny jokes, and basically a friend of Deimos, and his bounty giver, and also basically his, like, you know, kind of like, not really a butler, but his friend, really. But you know, honestly, I kind of like Mancake, and I like his, like, goofy, like, you know, design, and really his personality in this universe. So basically, you know what I'm going to rank this guy as? I'll probably rank him a 10 out of 10. Number 7 is Evie. Now, not gonna lie, Evie, I mean, literally, she just appeared for Deimos. I mean, originally, Evie was supposed to kind of be the annoying character, like, you know, the annoying duo. It was just going to be them and Deimos and Evie, you know what I mean? Like, as characters, originally it was supposed to be that, but I just kind of wanted Deimos to be on his own and go on his own adventure, since the show is featuring on Deimos, and Deimos is the main character of that show, basically. And really, not gonna lie, Evie was pretty good. I mean, one point I was going to make Deimos and Evie pretty much date, but I make that as it was originally, and then I kind of meant it as a joke. But don't worry, guys, Evie and Deimos are not in love, okay? Listen, they're not in love with each other. It's just a joke that I made up. But yeah, man, honestly, Evie as a character, I guess I can give her an 8 out of 10, because he didn't really appear that often, and not gonna lie, I kind of really don't like her design. But yeah, let's go on. I don't really have anything else to say about Twin. I mean, really, he's just he doesn't really appear that often. All I know, he appeared in one episode. I mean, not gonna lie, I kind of don't like the dude's design and all that, so basically kind of a 0 out of 10. Number 9, Strider, which I'm not gonna lie, I mean, she didn't really appear that often. I mean, she was canon when she appeared in that one scene with Thunder, Evie, and like Twin just dancing randomly. But honestly, I'm not gonna lie, Strider, I mean, she's kind of a mid character, so I guess I'd give her like a 7 out of 10. For number 10, it's Record. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this guy only showed up as episode 1, and he was supposed to be, like, kind of like the bane of Deimos and all that stuff, since he's, like, the tough guy. And since he has Zig as his friend, I'm not gonna lie, it was, like, pretty good to see Record again, since the last time he was there, he got, like, beaten up by LT Llama and all that stuff. So, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, he wasn't, like, the best. I guess he's a mid, and I give him a 6 out of 10. Number 11, Mizuki. Now, I don't really have anything else to say about this character. I mean, she was kind of useless, really. She appeared in one episode, and she was, like, fighting with Stray and Thunder, and then she died, really. I didn't really have anything else for her. I'm not gonna lie, she was kind of a bad character, so let's move on.
Number 12, Stray. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this guy was a really good character. I really like his design and everything about it, and I think this guy's a pretty much 10 out of 10, and also, I really like his ice form and all that stuff, and I like how I made him way more powerful than Mizuki, and how basically he's the leader of the River Guard now. Number 13, Highwire. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I really have no idea what I was going to do with this character. Originally, she was going to have a brother, and how she basically had to do this because her brother will get killed by, like, the last reality or something, but it turns out to be a thief that just got abducted by the last reality, really. This is nothing really that special about it, in my opinion, so, yeah, man, glad she died and stuff, really. She's kind of a 0 out of 10 character, it's really trash. Number 14, Spider-Man 2099. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I really like what I did with this character. He's a 10 out of 10, let's move on. Number 15, Miles Morales. He's kind of a 8 out of 10. Number 16, Spider-Trans. I mean, we all seen this coming. I mean, literally, this is just a meme character that I made up and stuff like that. And yes, before you comment down in the video, I do not believe Spider-Gwen's trans, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, Spider-Trans, he's a freaking 10 out of 10, he's freaking funny, so let's move on. Number 17, Spider-Gwen. I mean, not gonna lie, she's kind of a trash character. I mean, really, I would probably rank her probably a 0 out of 10, really, kind of trash, and I know Paxfire could get mad at me in the comments, I really don't care. Number 18, Darth Maul. I mean, really, he's a 7 out of 10. Number 19, Emperor Palpatine. I mean, he did really pop up a lot of times in my roleplays, but honestly, I mean, the mysterious around him, I'm not gonna lie, he's kind of a mid character, 6 out of 10. Number 20, Obi-Wan. Not gonna lie, this guy's a 10 out of 10. I liked how I voiced him and how he fought Anakin and all that stuff. Really like his design. Number 20, Anakin Skywalker. Like I said, like Obi-Wan, 10 out of 10. Number 22, Padme. I mean, really, she's kind of trash. Number 23, Venom. Not gonna lie, this guy was really good. I like his design, and I like how I made him the villain of, last episode. 10 out of 10. As for the main villain of the series, Track Knox, I really like his design and like how I basically kind of did with his character. 10 out of 10. As for the main character of the series, Deimos the Bounty Hunter, honestly, literally, Deimos is a 10 out of 10 for many reasons. I really like his design, and I really like the character I gave him, and how he was originally a bad guy, and how he became a good guy. Also, I love his Soul Taker form, it's really amazing. But yeah, guys, this is going to be the end of the ranking video, so tell me in the comments if I missed any characters to rank and all that stuff, just in case if I missed any characters in the show or anything like that. Just, comment down below if I missed anything, if you think I missed anything or anything like that, and I'll probably heart your comment. But yeah, guys, the video is going to end here, so make sure to like and subscribe with post notifications to stay updated with amazing videos just like this. But as I said, peace, bye.